But we have big news coming in here. YSR Congress Chief Jagan Reddy is joining us for an exclusive interaction here, and he will be questioned by NewsX's managing editor Rahul Shivshankar. Rahul, it's over to you.
Thanks indeed, Ritangshu. Yes, Jagan Mohan Reddy of the YSR Congress now joins us to take some direct questions. Mr. Reddy, it's been a while since we've spoken. We've mostly spoken off record, but today I'm going to ask you some direct questions on your stand and your conversations with other parties, etc. Now, you've been, over the last few days, canvassing support from various political parties, including the BJP, and you've had talks with the Chief Minister of Gujarat and the Prime Ministerial face of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Mr. Narendra Modi. Now, tell me, have you sought some sort of a commitment? What has really been your basic position with regards to the Bharatiya Janata Party? What are they saying to you?
Jagan Mohan Reddy as an individual is nothing. Jagan Mohan Reddy has only 3 MPs in the Lok Sabha. Jagan Mohan Reddy needs the support of you, needs the support of democracy. Everybody who upholds democracy, Jagan Mohan Reddy needs the support of them. He needs the support of the opposition parties in total. He needs the support of social media. In this process, yes, we have met not only BJP, we've met the communists, we've met all of the party leaders, including the constituents of the UP, with one single agenda in mind. We said, if you're going to accept to this, if you're going to yield to this, Andhra Pradesh division would set a new draconian precedent in place. Tomorrow you would have a situation where anybody with 270 MPs in the parliament can break any state without the willingness of the people of that state, without the willingness of the assembly.
Yes.
They can break any state at their whims and fancies for the sake of votes and seats. This would set a new dangerous precedent in place. Never has a state been broken earlier without an assembly resolution in place or without a commission's approval.
No, I understand that.
In this particular case of Andhra Pradesh, the sole commission which was appointed, that is Justice Sri Krishna Committee report, clearly concluded that the state should not, the best option available is to keep the state in.
Okay. No,
and let me just complete round.
Okay.
And the assembly has rejected the bill and sent it back to the parliament.
Fair enough.
And now you're breaking an unwilling state.
No, one understands the context and the subtext, but I'm asking you very specific questions. Because without the Bharatiya Janata Party's support, this bill cannot go through the Lok Sabha. Therefore, I'm asking you, have the BJP committed to you on your demands? Simple, straightforward.
Unfortunately, the Congress has got 200 MPs with them, and BJP has got 100 plus MPs. So it's very important that since they have 300 with them, in between them, it's very important that the principal opposition party, BJP, stand against the injustice.
I understand that,
yes,
Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy.
On them.
No, I understand that. I completely understand that. But are you laying down conditions? For instance, are you saying that, look, if the Bharatiya Janata Party support me on keeping Andhra united, I will not support you in a post-electoral, post-2014 Lok Sabha general election scenario? Are you speaking in specifics?
See, the most important thing is we have never spoken about any post-poll alliances with anybody. The most important thing what I said is I made my stand very clear. Anybody who is willing to keep my state united,
no, but sir,
I'm willing to go with them.
No, that's a very open.
And yes, in the process I met BJP people. I tried to convince them, I tried to prevail on them.
Okay.
That if they don't stand against this injustice, this would set a new dangerous precedent.
Okay, but will you?
I'm praying to God that wisdom would dawn upon these people, wisdom would dawn upon the entire opposition parties to come out.
I'm asking you, sir. I'm asking you once again. I know it's a very, very disturbed line. There's a lot of background noise, but I'm asking you, Mr. Reddy, will your party support a Modi-led government if the BJP blocks the T-bill?
All what we are asking is, please come forward and keep my state united. Anybody who keeps my state united, I am willing to go with it.
Why don't you
Our
take a position?
point agenda is the state should be united.
Okay, will you support, I'm asking you once again, will you support a Modi-led government if the BJP doesn't stand with you, sir, in Parliament? Simple and straightforward.
Why should anybody go to Congress party? Why would anybody go to Congress party when Congress party is the sole party what is breaking my state to just make
So you're not going to go back to the
Sonia Gandhi
Congress?
is doing whatever she is doing just to make her son the Prime Minister of this country. Because Congress party knows very well that they are not even going to get a single seat out of 42 because of their own anti-incumbency, what has set in. They are playing with the emotions of the people and staking a claim on the 17 seats in Telangana by breaking my state.
Okay.
It's whatever problems what we have in our state, they're all man-made problems. The problem is created by Congress party, and we are the party who is opposed to Congress party and fighting.
No, but your father, sir, your father was part of the Congress. When the commitment was made, he was also part of the Congress, was on his way to becoming Chief Minister, became the Chief Minister, but his stand was never as black and white as yours. You've gone off supposedly on principle to oppose the creation of Telangana. He never did so.
I want you to recall what happened when my father was alive, Rahul. In 2004, please check out the manifesto. In 2004, the manifesto of Congress party then, when my father was alive, said they will go ahead with second SRC. Second State Reorganization Commission means that is not subjected to only Andhra Pradesh alone. Any SRC, when it is constituted, you will have
But that's only a
whole number of
technicality.
other states also coming into the bracket of SRC. That is what Congress committed to in 2004. And that is what the TRS people that day accepted and signed. And check out the manifesto in 2009. 2009 also, whatever promise was made, it only said that a Roshaya committee would be constituted and recommendations on Roshaya committee would be taken. Where did it ever say that they would give a separate Telangana?
True, but many people will see this as a very technical argument. The fact is, your father did not take as firm a position as you did when we all know that there were separate statehood demands, and whether these state reorganization commissions were formed or not would eventually address them. But let me ask you, Rahul Gandhi is a young leader, he's taken charge of the Congress, he's leading its poll campaign. Do you think the two of you could work together? Have you spoken to him? Have you at all had conversations with him on this particular issue? Has he told you why he's pushing this so determinantly when he knows there's such great opposition, when individuals such as yourself, whose father was in the party, was opposed? Have you had any interaction?
See, I don't know Rahul Gandhi. Whatever I know of Rahul Gandhi is what I see him what I see in television. What you and I probably
So you've never
know, probably I know.
Okay, so you've never met Rahul Gandhi, you've never spoken to him. There were lots of photographs and there was a great deal of coverage at that time when your father had passed away. The young Gandhi was there, Sonia Gandhi was there by your side, consoling you. After that, you're saying you've never had an interaction with him. I'm a bit confused here. What are you trying to say? Have you never spoken to Mr. Gandhi again? Has there been no opportunity to even speak on this, whether it's been outside or inside the house?
I haven't spoken to him in my life so far, except for once he came to my house.
Okay.
When my father passed away.
Okay, well, Mr. Reddy, you have confirmed to us. You've taken a stand on this interview, and I respect that. You've said that if a political party doesn't stand with you, if it blocks any move to keep Andhra united, you will perhaps reconsider any decision to support that party in a post-general election scenario. What you're actually saying to us, and I'm having huge audio difficulties, Mr. Jagan Reddy. Thank you so much for speaking with us. But basically, Ritangshu, the news point that is coming out is that for the first time, Jagan Reddy has set conditions for both the Congress and the BJP. Specifically, this assumes importance for Mr. Narendra Modi. He says, if you don't block Telangana, then don't expect my support. So those windows are closing as far as Andhra Pradesh is concerned. It will only be if Telangana does actually, if it's really created, then you might have a situation where the TRS might jump ship, cross over to the Narendra Modi side, but Jagan Reddy won't. So that door is fast closing. The BJP has to come out and take a stand. Publicly, of course, Ritangshu, the BJP has always come out and said we are in support of smaller states.
Indeed.
We are open to the creation of smaller states, but fundamentally when it comes to Telangana, they always say that the proviso is, the caveat is that the interests of Steam Andhra must be taken care of. Now, in all of this,
Absolutely.
and you heard what Jagan Reddy said, he was very clear. He said the BJP so far, in his conversations with him, I've only heard him, haven't committed. He has set a condition and he hopes that the BJP and other larger parties like the Congress will respect those conditions. Ritangshu.
Indeed, Rahul, it seems that the BJP and in particular Narendra Modi is running short of not just allies but also time as it tries to desperately stitch up coalitions which it needs for its battlegrounds in the south. Thank you so much, Rahul, for joining us with that illuminating interview with Jagan Reddy. Meanwhile, we are also getting a lot of other reactions from political parties across the board, from the YSR Congress to the TDP, as the demand for united Andhra Pradesh reaches a fever pitch. Let's listen into some of these reactions. Alright, we'll be playing out those reactions for you shortly, but shifting focus to another big story.